Hey, church. Hey, this is Pastor Perkins here. I got to tell you, today has been a crazy Sunday morning. We got up to the church. I was up here. Brother Sterling was up here. Brother Jack was up here, and we were working and trying to get things figured out. And about 8 o'clock, it was snowing, and the radar just showed more snow all the way back over by the lake. And we were trying to figure, what do we do? Trying to keep everybody safe, and we came to the point where, like, well, called around, talked to a couple of the officers, and we were like, it might be best for us to cancel church, because even up to about 9:45, I was out, and even in our plow truck on the road, it was sliding around, and it's like, man, this is not a good situation for people to be out in. And so I thought, well, 8 o'clock, we send out a text and letting people know, hey, there's not church today. And then they come to find out not everybody got the text. They didn't all go through, and it's like, oh, great. This is not what I intended for our Sunday to be like. And it's just not the same. It's not the same when we're not in church together. And I don't know about everybody else, but I want to be in church. And I'll look, and at times I'm like, well, could we have had church today? Could we have been in church? Well, yeah, maybe so. But my number one concern always is the safety of each and every individual that's a part of the church. And I don't want folks to get out. I would feel terrible. I'd feel awful on days like today where the roads are bad, and if someone got hurt, I'd feel awful. And I get it, that not all the times does it make sense for a decision like that to be made, but I just, have seek the Lord's will, and really felt that was a direction we needed to go, and so that's what we did. But let me give you some words of encouragement today from the Bible, and something that I was reading this morning out of the book of Psalms, Psalm 104. Was reading in my Bible reading here, and down in Psalm 104, if you want to grab a Bible, want to check it out, definitely can do so. But down in Psalm 104 and verse 24 is where the Bible says, O Lord, how manifold are thy works. In wisdom thou hast made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. It is something that we look around, and so often we can, even as individuals this time of year, we can look and we're like, man, we're ready, right? We're ready for warmer weather. And we look at the snow, and right now it's starting to spit a little bit of snow again. And it's like, it's cold, but man, our God's an amazing God. He created it all, and the Bible says, in his wisdom thou hast made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. Man, it's just, the creation is just full of God's wonder and God's grace, and we can see it, and we can see his hand working everywhere, and how good our God is. And when I was reading this passage this morning, where the Bible says in verse 25, where it says, so is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beast. We look out in the ocean, and we look, and where it's like, man, it's just the amount of animals that are out there. What an amazing thing, great and small. I know us in Michigan, we're like, yeah, they've got the ocean out on the coast, and me and Kyle were down in Pensacola, checking out Pensacola Christian College this past week, and we were at the ocean, and it was amazing just to watch. It was one of those days where they said, don't get in the ocean. The weather was bad, and the waves were just crashing, but it was amazing to see and think, man, it was wonderful to think about, man, this is God's creation, and how that sea is just full of his creation. But in Michigan, we got it better. We got the Great Lakes. We don't have sharks, and we don't have salt in our water. But still, we look, and it's like, man, what a wonder it is to see it all. In verse 26, where the Bible says, there go the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. And it's like, man, this great creature that God had made, this large creature, this Leviathan. And the Bible says he just plays out there in the ocean. It's God's creation. He's a part of it. And look at verse 27. The Bible says, these wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season. Here's where, to me, this passage gets very interesting, because it begins to talk about all of God's creation. And it talks about even these mighty huge beasts like the Leviathan, that they wait upon God. Not only the great, but the small. That they, as the Bible says there in verse number 27, they wait upon thee. That it says, you know what? They wait upon God. They depend upon God for God to provide for them. Verse 28, it says that thou givest them, they gather. Thou openest thine hand, they are filled with good. God takes care of all of his creation. I'm going somewhere. Don't lose me yet. In verse number 29, look at this though. It says, thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. You know, can I stop right there for just a moment? And here's what I want to focus on for a moment. And like I said, I'm not going to be long, but I want to share a thought with you. The Bible talks about the fact that even God's creation, even the animals that are in the sea, that they depend upon him. And if God was gone, it's like, imagine the despair that they would face if God wasn't there. If God was not able to provide their needs, the despair they would have, but yet he's there. You know, folks, can I remind you of something this morning? You know, we serve a God that he is there. We serve a God that not only created all of creation, the things we see on land, the things we see in the ocean, the animals upon land and on the ocean. God didn't just create those. He created you and I as well. And you know what? When the Bible says in verse 27 that these animals wait upon God, that God would give them their meat in due season, hey, can I remind you of something? You and I serve a God that takes care of us. You and I, that, you know, we at times, life can get rough, life can get hard. But, you know, imagine if God wasn't there. Imagine the despair that we would feel. Christians, listen, I want to encourage you today with this thought that, you know, you and I, we have a life that we live, and thankfully we can live our life every day under the hand, under the guidance and direction of God. That's the wonderful God that we serve, that he is there, he is providing. Listen, today you might have some struggles. You might have some trials going on, but understand this, you've got a God that's taking care of you. He cares, right? The Bible talks about even the sparrows and all the animals, that God takes care of them. He cares for them. Listen, he cares for you too. And so today, if you've got struggles, if you've got trials, if you've got things that you're just sitting there thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I can handle this. Is God really still there? He is. He's there, and what he just simply wants you and I to do constantly, he just wants us to rely upon him. He wants us to depend upon him in every single area of our life. So church, listen today, just put your faith in God. Put your trust in God. When we have things that go on, when we have things we don't understand, he's in control. He knows what he's doing. Just trust in him. You know, I trust today that you'll have a great day. I do want to say, if you get out, be careful. Be safe as you go out and about. But listen, your troubles, your struggles, your trials that you'll go through this week, you've got a God. He'll help you. He'll take care of you. Can I remind you of something, I guess, in closing as well, of even scheduling side? I know we weren't able to get together and have church today and have our spaghetti dinner, but we're going to have it next week. We'll have our church services next week. We'll have our spaghetti dinner of an evening, and I hope you'll be there. Encourage one another. Reach out, check on one another. Make sure everybody's doing well and doing great today, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Have a great day. God bless. God bless. And if you need anything at all, if you got any questions about anything church-wise or anything, just give us a holler, and we'd be glad to catch up with you. So glad, so thankful to be the pastor of the church here at Capital City Baptist. Just so thankful every day get an opportunity to serve God. Look forward to seeing you Wednesday. God bless. Have a great day.